So three ghosts walk into a party and announce, "I'm here for the booze." Hey, shh! Welcome back to Not Another Needless Sequel, where we talk movies and propose unnecessary prequels, sequels, reboots, and remakes. My name is Kane.
Who you gonna call?
This is my wife, Kelsey.
Me, that's right.
And she's going to tell us the story of 1984's Ghostbusters.
So, three scientists build a ghost-busting machine in a vault to hide ghosts that they catch, and there's ghosts all over town that they have to capture.
Perfect. So, the movie starts off with a librarian in the library, and there's a ghost in there.
The librarian was in the library?
It could be a librarian anywhere.
Oh, man.
Just because you're a librarian doesn't mean you have to be in a library.
I was just making sure for the audience so they know.
Why don't you put some respect on librarians' names?
I'm just saying.
Anyway, sorry to all the librarians out there. She gets scared by the ghost and it plays the Ghostbusters theme.
But how was she scared by the ghost? First, she's walking down, minding her own business, filing away some cards, and then all of a sudden, drawers open, cards fly, and she is freaked out. It's very spooky stuff.
According to an interview with Mix Magazine Online, Ray Parker Jr., who of course wrote the theme song for Ghostbusters, it plays the very beginning of this movie after the librarian, he wrote the song for the movie in 2 days. He said at 4:30 a.m. he saw a commercial for a drain company that reminded him of a scene from the film. That commercial helped him coin the popular line, "Who you gonna call?" The lively chorus shouting Ghostbusters during the film's theme song consisted of Ray Parker Jr.'s girlfriend and her friends, the only people Parker could find quickly enough to meet his deadline. In a 2015 interview, he said he got the idea when his son shouted Ghostbusters. He didn't like the film's title very much and was trying to find a way to avoid saying it himself in the song. Like, so many things contributed to this song, and, like, everybody knows that song.
Yeah.
Even people who've never seen the movie probably know the song.
Do you think it's one of the greatest movie songs, like, written?
I guess you could say that just on the fact of how memorable it is.
I can think of another one that's more memorable.
What?
Tarzan. You know which one I'm talking about?
I mean, the entire Tarzan album by Phil Collins.
I mean, yeah, but it's the one specific one.
Son of Man. Son of Man. Son of Man.
No.
Oh, You'll Be in My Heart.
Might be.
You'll be in my heart.
It's not that one. It's like he's like, I wanna run. Is that the song?
Is it when he grows up from a kid to an adult? That's Son of Man.
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty memorable song.
I guess not. Anyway.
Or You Don't Talk About Bruno? Is it more popular than that?
It's not comparable.
Oh, what about it's comparable to Footloose?
Yes, I would say Ghostbusters is more memorable than Footloose. I mean, has anybody ever covered the Ghostbusters song and gotten popular? No. Has Footloose been covered and gotten more popular?
I mean, I don't know if it did, but it's still been remade. Did they reboot the Ghostbusters movies?
Yes. Several times.
My sentiments exactly. Did they use the song or did somebody different sing the same song?
They used the same song.
That's embarrassing.
Anyway, after this librarian, we go to a group of parapsychologists, starting with Peter Venkman, played by Bill Murray, and he's giving a test to some students where he's trying to test if they have the ability to see what's on a card without him showing it to them. And it's a male and a female. He's letting the female by, saying she's getting everyone right. The male is saying he's getting everyone wrong and shocking him. And, I mean, I'm just not going to sugarcoat it. Like, he fucking sucks. This is his character the entire time. He's just this fucking perv, and he's gross, and it seems like he actually doesn't care at all about his, supposed profession.
He only uses his research to try and hit on women. Because after that, he kicked the guy out and the girl stayed and he's like, you're just so special because of your ability. I could help test you more tonight at 8 o'clock.
Well, he's actually going to test her supposedly right there. But then one of the other to-be Ghostbusters, played by Dan Aykroyd, Stantz comes in. And he's excited because he heard about the library ghost from the beginning, and he's telling them all about it. But of course, fucking Venkman's just like, get out of here. Like, I'm very busy. I'm so excited about that. Why don't you go check it out? Anyway, they do go check it out. It is Venkman, who's Bill Murray, Stantz, who's Dan Aykroyd, and then Spengler, who's Harold Ramis. He, of course, wrote the movie, and I actually read that he, like, that part that he plays, he wrote it, and he wasn't gonna be in the movie at all, but then he just felt like he was the best for that part.
Interesting.
So they go to check this stuff out. I don't actually think they get anything done in that moment besides actually seeing the ghost.
You forget, they asked the librarian, her name is Alice, if she is menstruating right now.
Well, I wouldn't say they ask. It's once again Venkman.
They ask if she's currently menstruating because if it's her time of the month, she's clearly seeing things.
Is that what they were insinuating?
Yes, they're insinuating
I'm not saying you're
that,
wrong.
like,
I was very confused.
Yeah, that, like, women with, like, PMS or, like, if it's their time of the
I
month,
see.
like, things are, like, it was an insult.
All right, 84. Good
Yeah,
point.
it was such an insult. I quoted, I remember shouting very aggressively during the movie, and I said, pause! And he paused it, and I was like, beep, 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 making a note. Just like that, everyone, with the beep, 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 beep.
Well, regardless, even throughout them messing with this library ghost, like, you can just see, like, Venkman doesn't care. Mm-hmm. He, like, seems to think it's still fake, and it makes it seem like he truly is in this profession just as a joke.
Yeah, he just wants to get laid. That's his whole goal in this entire movie, is to get laid. I guess we should mention they do see the ghost. The ghost is real.
Yeah, like, ghosts are real in this movie, and it kind of feels weird that people don't react as wildly as you'd expect.
Yeah.
But
it's like they've known for years.
Yeah. So they, find out ghosts are real, but they also get fired from the college because they say that
his research doesn't matter. It's not
it's just whatever's popular at the time.
You know what I was thinking at that time is if that girl student turned him in. But I was like, there's no way they wouldn't listen to her. Not in this time.
Well, who knows? I mean, I imagine that you have to produce some kind of good research working under a college like that. Yeah. But once they get fired, they end up buying out this firehouse to be like their new headquarters so that they can continue their research and stuff.
And let's say that they only buy the firehouse because Dan Aykroyd loves the fire pole.
Yeah, he is super excited. He's like, does this still work? I'll get my stuff. We should sleep in here tonight.
Yeah, and Venkman's like, I guess we're taking it. And Spengler was pissed they were getting it.
Yeah. But it works out, and they do kind of a bit of a time skip. They seem established in the firehouse, like they have all their shit moved in. They went ahead with their research and built the proton packs that they weren't sure if they were going to work, that kind of thing. And they start up the Ghostbusters business, which I'll come back to because we also cut away and meet Sigourney Weaver's character, Dana. And she is coming back from grocery shopping, seemingly. She's walking to her apartment. You also meet her neighbor, Lewis, who's played by
Rick Moranis.
Yeah, I always forget his name.
It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes.
And Little Giants.
Lewis is played by Rick Moranis, and he clearly has, like, a thing for Dana. He's like, you want to come over for some mineral water? And I feel that he's the best character in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's so nice and cute and funny, and I'm so sad that, like, he was just, like, brushed off by Dana. But Dana well, actually, let me mention what I think was one of the funniest things Lewis said is, like, Dana's trying to get inside of her door, and he's like, oh, you gotta be careful with leaving your TV on because you had it up really loud, and you know what I did? I went ahead and turned my TV up all the way loud so they would just think it was a problem with everyone's TVs, and I'm just like, what a good guy.
Yeah, I know, it is a good guy, and then I was like, man, he's awfully far down the hall. How did he know her TV was on?
Well, it must have been that loud, and I think that was just she seemed confused, and they didn't really touch back on that, but I'm guessing it was, like, the ghost did it.
Oh, you're right.
She was like, huh? But then they didn't really, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd imagine there's, like, a deleted scene or something that says something about it.
You do meet her because, obviously, I mean, everyone, if you've seen this movie, I had never seen this movie before. Or if I had, it had been so long that I didn't remember it.
When she walks into her apartment, that TV is on, I guess, and she sees the ad and she just, like, turns it off. But then her eggs on her counter start, like, busting open. She opens up her fridge and it's just a portal to hell in there. And so she freaks out, closes the fridge, and then she goes to actually meet the Ghostbusters. Like, she goes into their building and you can see that they're, like, surprised that somebody actually came with some ghost information. I guess nobody's done it yet. Even their assistant, like, Venkman makes a comment about how good of a job it must be because she doesn't have to do anything, because he's like, has anybody called? No. Any messages? No. Like, they just are being laughed off, I guess. Nobody's really paying attention to them yet.
Right.
When Dana goes, of course, Venkman's immediately all over her.
I have what he says. I quoted what he said
What
because
does he say?
he's such a creep. He says, I'll take her back to her apartment and check her out. And then he's
Yeah.
like, I check out her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's like, you guys go do this. And what's crazy is during the movie, he kind of like has eyes at Dan Aykroyd, and Dan Aykroyd like goes along with like his stuff of like trying to hit and be a creep on women. Dan Aykroyd's like, yeah, I'm gonna go like check my light bulb or whatever. I mean, he just makes up some shit to do, and then it's...
Well, I feel like he's legitimately thinking scientifically. He's like, okay, the name Zool, I can go ahead and look up that. Like, he's trying to help.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, fucking Venkman's just like, I'll go to her apartment.
And he's like, where's the bedroom? And she's like, it didn't happen in the bedroom.
Yeah, he's like, shame, nothing happens in there. Like,
I know.
Dude,
disgusting.
get the fuck out.
Disgusting.
Yeah, she's like trying to tell him, like, do you want to look at the fridge? And he's just like, yeah, sure. Like, the whole time he's just trying to hit on her, not even fucking around with the ghost. I did read where Sigourney Weaver said that she once had a fire in her apartment after this movie had come out, and the firemen came to put it out, and one of them opened up her refrigerator and said, whoa, you better call the Ghostbusters. No?
No.
If that firefighter's out there and you're hearing this, grade A joke.
Oh my god.
Anyway, when Venkman's about to leave, like, he says some shit like, you know, I'm just so caught up in my work and I look at you and I see someone that's also... And I'm like, are you fucking in love with this woman that you met 5 seconds ago?
Yeah.
Can you stop?
And she's like flattered by it, which had to be just disgusting for her to play. Unless she didn't view it that way, then I apologize.
Well... You know, when we were watching this and I said something along the lines of, I just have to tell myself it's all lines on a page written for him to be this way. But I'll come back to that I just said. So.
Ugh, was he an ad-libber?
Anyway, after she's met the Ghostbusters, you know, they don't do anything for her in that moment. But I guess they're still going to be. Call. Yeah, and they're still going to be looking into her case. But they get a call and they're hired by this hotel to deal with a ghost. And it's so strange to me that, like, they believed it. Like, that there was a ghost. Like, the hotel was just like, yeah, we definitely have a ghost. We got to call the Ghostbusters. Like, this just seemed like a normal thing.
It's like the business started up, but then, like ghosts were acted like such a normal thing. And, like, it didn't seem like ghosts were really a thing until...
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Time.
But... when they go to this hotel, the guy wants them to be discreet at the hotel, doesn't want everybody knowing, and the ghost
They destroy that motherfucker.
They do. The ghost is known as Slimer. It's just a big, disgusting green blob. It's just eating.
You know what it looks like? You guys know those Mucinex commercials with the boogers? It looks like one of those boogers.
Absolutely. But they are able to deal with him. You know, they chase him around the hotel, fucking it up. They use their proton packs for the first time. They, like, blast a maid's cart and almost kill her. She's like, what the hell are you guys doing?
He's like, sorry.
But they get him
They destroy the banquet hall that those people are needing, too. And he's like, it'll be ready. And it's, like, just absolutely destroyed.
Yes. So, after they capture him, they tell the hotel guy, you know, it's going to cost something ridiculous, $6,000. And he's like, well, I'm not paying it. Which I say it's ridiculous, but, okay, in a world with ghosts, probably not ridiculous.
Yeah.
Maybe cheap, even.
Well, he makes a comment about something about the money, and he's like, you're right, I'll pay you.
Well, he says he's not going to pay it, and they're like, well, that's fine, we can just put him right back.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
Acting like that guy doesn't make at least $6,000 a day based off just room rentals alone.
Well, I have no idea what that guy's job was. Anyway, they deal with Slimer, and then you get a bit of a rise to fame for them. Like, you see a montage where they're dealing with all kinds of shit.
They're so tired, they sleep upstairs. It's like they live there, they eat, sleep, breathe, catching ghosts. And whenever old girl gets a call about another ghost, like an alarm goes off and they come down the fire pole and put on their outfits and leave in the car. And yeah, it comes to the point that they hire somebody.
Yeah, so Winston joins the team eventually. You see him, like, sitting there doing his interview.
He didn't even interview. He just came in and was like, I saw the ad, and they're like, great, you're hired.
Well, no. I mean, she did ask him, like, do you believe in ghost spirit? And he says something like, is there a steady paycheck in it?
He's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I believe in all that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, obviously, it's about halfway through the movie when Winston joins, even though he's seen as, like, one of the original Ghostbusters. Nobody thinks, like, it's just the three of them. But I was reading a little bit about that, and it said the character of Winston was meant to have joined the team much earlier and would have been slimed at the hotel. Eddie Murphy declined the role, and the script was rewritten to have Winston appear about halfway through the film. According to Ernie Hudson, an earlier version of the script had Winston in a larger role with an elaborate backstory as an Air Force demolitions expert. Excited by the part, he agreed to the job for half his usual salary. The night before shooting began, he was given a new script with a greatly reduced role. Ivan Reitman told him the studio had wanted to expand Bill Murray's role. In a 2015 article for Entertainment Weekly, Hudson wrote, "I love the character and he's got some great lines, but I felt the guy was just kind of there. I love the movie, I love the guys, I'm very thankful to Ivan for casting me, I'm very thankful that fans appreciate the Winston character, but it's always been very frustrating, kind of a love-hate thing, I guess." Which I totally see, because his character is just there.
Yeah, like he comes to they give him a the proton pack at the end of the movie, which we'll kind of get to, but it's like... There's no
you don't, real backstory from...
Yeah.
You don't know anything about him, he's just there. Like, he might as well not be a main character, and I hate that for him.
I do too.
Especially if it was supposedly he was going to have this big part, and I feel like Eddie Murphy declining the role should not have changed that.
Correct.
Like, sure, Eddie Murphy was a very hot comedian at the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, so was everyone, like Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, comedians, that kind of thing. And I guess they maybe were worried he couldn't do it, but I don't know. Like, give the guy a chance.
Yeah.
I don't think it was great for him.
I agree.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish they had done more.
Me too.
So, with Winston joining the team, they also show a little bit about how they store the ghosts. So they have, you know, their proton packs to capture the ghosts, but then they have the separate, like, container. Once they get back to their HQ with that container, they show Winston how the thing on the wall works, how they trap ghosts, and they also get a visit from a man from the EPA who is upset about everything they got going on. Venkman is just an asshole to the guy from the beginning. And sure, the guy's not super nice either, but Venkman, I feel, doesn't help the situation, and the EPA guy ends up leaving. He'll be back later, of course. Then Dana ends up seeing Venkman again, and, like, they plan out a date. I mean, it's just to continue their relationship. I only want to touch on that part so I can bring up why she even comes back, because Zool ends up taking over Dana, and Zool's like the ghost that was inside of her fridge, and
it's kind of wild the way that it, like, all kind of played out.
Yeah. There's another name for the ghost, that a different ghost, but I just was calling him the Keymaster. The Keymaster ghost also takes over Lewis, her neighbor. And Zool, I guess, is the gatekeeper. So the Keymaster and the gatekeeper need to get together to open this door for the big bad ghost, Gozer.
Yeah. I think that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids deserved better.
He did. When he gets taken, he's at a party that he throws, and he asked Dana to come, and Dana had planned the date with Venkman, and he sounds so hurt. He's like, "You made a date for tonight?" And it's like, he's not even hurt like, "You didn't make a date with me." It's like, "I asked you to come to this party,
and you told me you would try."
Yeah, and now you're doing this, which I totally get. Like, yeah, she doesn't owe him it, but at the same time, like, damn, like, he's trying, you know?
Yeah, he has a party with all of his clients, too. They're not even, like, his friends.
So, I actually read something that I really thought was cool about that scene, and this comes back to what I was saying about Bill Murray earlier. Almost none of the scenes were filmed as scripted. Most had at least one ad-lib. Most of Bill Murray's lines were ad-libs, which, maybe they told him to do that, but, like, okay, all your ad-libs are just gonna be sexual innuendos? Like, that doesn't feel like you're good at ad-libbing. That feels like you're just a pervert.
Bring up the comedy, Bill. You're so good at it.
The thing is like, I haven't seen Bill Murray, I guess, in a ton of movies, but from what I've seen, this may be the worst character I've ever seen of Bill Murray's.
Yeah, go back to Caddyshack, buddy.
Anyway, back to the ad-libbing. So, when Lewis mingles with his party guests, you recall he's like talking to people, and he's like, "This person owns this business," because, you know, it's all his clients. That shot is just a single one shot of him walking through the party, first of all, which I love fucking one shots. But two, it's him ad-libbing, talking to those people. Like, everyone, he's just bullshitting. And, like, I think he did a great job. Like, that's how it's fucking done, you know?
Rick Moranis is so good.
Yeah. Like, good for you, Rick Moranis. Anyway, he gets chased out of his apartment by the Keymaster ghosts and is fucking running through the streets away from it. I guess other people can't see it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, because he's, like, banging on that restaurant wall, like, let me in, let me in, let me in. And everyone's just thinking he's crazy, and then he does get taken over by the ghost, but nobody can see the ghost.
Yeah. And so then he's walking around New York City trying to find the gatekeeper, and he's just walking up to people like, "Are you the gatekeeper?" He walks up to a horse and says it. He says, "Are you the gatekeeper?" And the guy that is, like, running the cart with the horse says, hey, buddy, he just pulls the cart. I make the deals.
Yeah.
And fucking, he looks at the horse and he's like, wait for the signal. And then he looks at the guy and he's like, you'll burn in hell or something, and runs off. Like, his parts are so good.
If that was ad-libbed, it was funny.
Hell yeah.
Take a note.
So, Venkman goes to Dana's house for the date that they're supposed to have, and she's fucking Zool, and she, like, opens the door, and she's, like, just scantily clad, wind is blowing, and she's looking all fucking, like, leaned up on the wall sexy, and she says to him, are you the keymaster? And he's like, nope. And she just shuts the door.
Yeah.
And then he knocks on it again, and she opens it. Are you the keymaster? He's like, yeah. Like, it's just such... That part was funny to me.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway, fucking thank God the scene didn't go the way it almost makes you think it's gonna.
I know.
But he realizes something's wrong, seemingly, and he's, like, trying to figure it out, and he calls over to the HQ, and Spengler is already there with Lewis because the cops brought Lewis there because they were like, we don't know what to do with him. Figured you guys might have something to do with this. And they figure out, you know, he's the keymaster, she's the gatekeeper. Getting them together would probably be dangerous. They do, however, end up getting together. Meanwhile, also the EPA comes in and they're like, shut down this machine. They don't want to shut it down. They say if they shut it down, you know, all the ghosts are gonna get out, like it's super dangerous, but the cops make them do it and all the fucking ghosts get out, I guess.
And wreak havoc.
Yeah, they're doing shit everywhere. The Ghostbusters are in prison. That scene's so weird to me because they're in the prison with like the blueprints for Dana's apartment, and they're talking about how the apartment building was built weird and like electricity can shock it and all this shit that has to do with the ghosts coming.
But nobody talks about the gargoyles on the top.
Yeah, well, the gargoyles on the top are fucking the
Zool,
ghosts, I guess.
yeah.
But while they're doing this, like, all the prisoners in there are like intently listening.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what
they
are you
are.
guys doing?
They're like, it's the Ghostbusters. Shh, shh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're planning in prison. They end up talking to the mayor. They explain this. The mayor...
I actually thought that the mayor believing them was just so, like, it was a nice and wholesome moment because all these people are like, yoo-hoo, making fun of them the whole time. Like, they don't believe them. All these ghosts are out, and then the mayor does believe them, which I liked that part. It was wholesome.
Well, I think the mayor wasn't going to do a fucking thing until somebody was like, save the lives of all these voters. And then he was like, okay.
I mean, whatever he needs for a re-election.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I mean, he is the mayor in Ghostbusters too.
Oh, he did get re-elected, boys.
Anyway, you know, fucking the door gets open because the keymaster and gatekeeper get together, and out of the door comes Gozer. Gozer is a fucking horrible looking demon woman and tells them something like, I'm gonna turn into whatever you say, and that's what you have to fight. Which, I don't... Actually, let me go back and take a step back. She says to them some shit like, when they approach her, are you a god? And fucking Dan Aykroyd's like, no. And she's like, then die. And just zaps them with lightning. And one, fucking... I mean, just like Winston says, you know, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. Like, yeah, what the fuck, dude? But
I mean,
two,
Winston knows.
yeah. Two, then when they try and retaliate and fight back, she goes away and then she gives this speech about, I'm going to turn into whatever. Well, why didn't you do that a minute ago? Why'd you zap them with lightning? Feels like you cheated.
They just needed a reason to bring out the Michelin Man outfit.
Well, yeah, so they've cleared their minds because they don't want to think of the wrong thing, right? They have the opportunity to challenge whatever. So you'd think like, she's going to turn into anything we say and that we get to fight. You'd say an ant or something. Unfortunately, Stance can't not think about this in-universe marshmallow mascot, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And he's like, I'm sorry, it was in my head.
It's so good.
And he just fucking comes around the corner. The one thing I saw about that, which I was shocked by, was the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man suit costs approximately $20,000 for each suit, and there was 3 made, and all 3 of them were completely destroyed during filming.
What? Can you imagine how much that would cost today?
Yeah, fucking ridiculous. But also, like, Jesus. After the first one, I can't imagine if they told the fucking studio, like, hey, we gotta make another suit, so it's gonna be another $20,000. And maybe they were like, God, okay, fine, whatever. But then the third time, I don't know. But at the end, they beat him. It's the classic, if you've ever heard about it, they say don't cross the streams of their proton pack guns, but then they do so that they can blow up this Marshmallow Man. When it ends, like, it's just a very, I don't know, an 80s ending to a movie. Everybody's fucking hugging. Like, there's not marshmallow everywhere.
Yeah. I guess for me, like, I don't understand why Sigourney Weaver's character was all like, oh, I love you, Dr. Venkman. Yeah. And then, like, how did they end up together? They had zero relationship. She's just like, I think I'm going to be with him now.
They acted so
after she just got with Lois. I realize they were taken over by ghosts, but I'm just saying, like, old girl ain't even had a shower yet.
That's probably traumatizing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then, also, why did she celebrate with the rest of them? Because, like, what did she do?
Well, I just, their relationship was very shoehorned. It's one of those things where it's like, so many movies feel like they have to have love interests.
Yeah, they don't.
And even if you do, like, you got to do a better job than this. It just feels like there wasn't anything actually between them. It was that they met. He was a perv towards her. They separated. They planned a single date. It didn't happen. He saved the world, the city at least, and
they're in love.
And it's just not very realistic, which I guess explains, because in the second one, they're not together at first. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Was it because he couldn't quit being a perv, or?
I don't remember. So, I saw this movie when I was super young, and I thought it was good, but I watched it now for this, looked at it critically, and I rated it 2.5 out of 5.
That's a little high.
I feel, for my rating, my thing is that it, for some reason, is very memorable. And really sticks with you. And it feels very original. But it loses points for being just kind of half-assed in some of the storytelling with, like, the relationships. And, of course, Venkman, I just don't like him. I don't like his whole, I don't care about this science thing. Like, I honestly, by the end of the movie, I can't tell. Is he smart or not? Like, It feels like he's maybe...
Everybody else does everything, and then he's just like, I'm a proton pack.
Yeah, like, I don't know if he's actually a scientist or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I gave it a 2, and I liked, like, the ghost aspect, and, like, I didn't mind, like, the ghost taking over someone. I do feel like the keymaster, key holder share thing, like, they have to get together. They just wanted a reason for sex to be in the movie.
It does feel like they were already on top of the building together as gargoyles. Why didn't they just... Exactly. I have no idea any of that. Venkman's character sucked. I felt like the script almost, like, wasn't complete. Like, the story moved very fast. It was like, ghosts exist, I finished my proton pack, let me save a bunch of ghosts, and then her ghost is gonna come back. Like, it felt discombobulated a bit. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. I mean, no offense to anyone that worked on the movie, I guess. It just doesn't hold up very well, I don't think. Which, the Ghostbusters has been through some shit. Like, the entirety of the franchise. It's crazy that it does feel so memorable, but it's maybe not that good.
I think it's just the song.
The song is what made it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this game, I have here a tier list, and what you have to do is build a team with $15. I have a tier list here with 5 different tiers, and there's a dollar amount assigned to each tier, and there's 4 characters under each tier. I'm explaining it for those who are just listening. I'll post this picture. So, $15. On tier 5, you have the King of the Dead from the Lord of the Rings films and books, presumably. I apologize, I haven't read those. But the one that helps Aragorn fight back.
The Flying Dutchman.
The Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob, Gengar from Pokemon, and Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars.
I have a question about Obi-Wan as this pertains to what I'm about to do. Does it have to be Old Man Obi-Wan?
It's Ghost Obi-Wan, so yeah, he's got to be an old man. Okay. So, under the next tier, that's $4, is Danny Phantom, the Hatbox Ghost from the Haunted Mansion ride, King Boo from Super Mario, Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice. And then under the next tier, which is $3, we have
Ghost from Call of
Simon
Duty.
Ghost Riley from Call of Duty, the High Five Ghost from a regular show, the Ghost from Destiny that all the Guardians have, and Casper the Friendly Ghost. Next tier for $2.
I'm sorry, I just saw the pictures on this row and I'm dead.
We have Zero the dog from The Nightmare Before Christmas, Denny Duquette from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, man.
The Boo Berry mascot from Boo Berry cereal, and Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter. And the last tier we have, worth $1, we have Slimer from Ghostbusters, the 4 ghosts from Pac-Man, Blinky, Inky...
Stinky and Dinky?
No, not their names, I don't know. Nearly Headless Nick from Harry Potter, and Patrick Swayze's character from the movie Ghost.
Nice.
So, what you're going to do with $15 is build a team with these. You can pick any amount if you want to go all from tier 5, all from fucking the lower tiers, whatever you want. But whatever you pick has to defend you against the rest of the ghosts haunting you.
I have a question. Could Ghost Obi-Wan use the Force?
Sure.
Okay.
But does the Force work on a ghost? Can you push a ghost?
I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Okay.
I have $15. Up first, I'm taking... For $5, the Aragorn
Army of the
Army of the
Dead.
Yes. If you guys have not seen, first off, you need to watch all of the Lord of the Rings. But if you have not seen Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, which is the movie that he is in, he's a bad bitch. All right, moving on. Next, I don't think that you cannot not pick Ghost from Call of Duty.
Okay.
So that's 3. I have a calculator.
Keep in mind,
out.
he's a flesh and bone human being that's gonna fight these ghosts.
Yeah, listen, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, first off, we haven't seen the updated Modern Warfare, but technically he dies, so it could be his ghost fighting the other ghosts. I'm taking that route.
Okay.
I win. I have 7 schmeckles left. Oh, man. I love me Denny Duquette.
What is he gonna help?
I mean, did you see how big Denny Duquette was?
Oh my god.
Because, first off, let's just talk about this. I'm obsessed with Denny Duquette.
This is not Denny Duquette this is the last time we ever saw Denny Duquette. He was a lot smaller in his old age.
Oh, don't you talk about Jeffrey Dean Morgan that way. Jeffrey, if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry.
Jeffrey, if you're listening to this, I'll never fucking forget what you did to my boy on The Walking Dead. And if I ever see your ass's beef on sight.
Whatever. He's like, I don't even know who you are, sir. He'll never listen to this. Anyways, Denny Duquette, if you recall, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to pick him. Okay. But I'm going to tell you why. So, in the Grey's Anatomy show, Denny Duquette, he obviously dies after his heart transplant of a blood clot. He gets pulmonary embolism, instant death. However, Denny Duquette is like 6'4". He's huge. He could take on a ghost. His ghostly body does come back, and he's like big and strong and all of this. And he's not the little weakling in the wheelchair from when he comes in alive.
Oh, I didn't realize putting his picture here was going to get you so hot and bothered.
I'm not hot.
You can
Oh
concentrate
my God.
on building a team.
Get out of here. Okay, so I took Denny Duquette. I have 5 left. Does lightsabers work on ghosts?
I bet not. But
I don't think so either, and I just feel like that version of Obi-Wan
has experienced everything that any versions of Obi-Wan have experienced.
God, he's like one of the best Jedis, though. That's the problem. You know what? I'm going to have to choose Obi-Wan because he could be like, you just forgot you were fighting me. And then he could use his force power not to like push the ghost back, but you know how he's like, these are not the droids you're looking for. He could tell the other ghosts,
Do Jedi mind tricks work?
Yes, 1,000% they're going to work.
Okay.
And Obi-Wan.
Okay. Well.
Who would you choose?
Well, obviously, Obi-Wan, because, since he's been struck down, he's more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Exactly, I picked him.
So that's 5 for me.
Yeah. Danny
Phantom, he hunts ghosts for a living, and he himself is a ghost. High 5 ghost for moral support.
That's what Denny Duquette's there for. He's just there for looks and support. You have 3 left.
0 for moral support. I don't need any more fighters. It's all about support now.
Oh, 0. Oh, the little dog. He's pretty cute. Okay.
And Patrick Swayze in case I get lonely.
Oh my God.
That's my team.
Yeah, this is my plan. Is Obi-Wan says you're fighting for the wrong side, droid, to the Destiny thing, and then the Destiny thing just takes over.
Yeah. Well, with the Destiny thing, technically, I guess, if it applied the same way as it does to the Guardians, you can't die. You would just keep coming back. So the ghost can haunt... Well, you're going to feel every one of those deaths, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sticking with high 5 ghost. I mean, I almost chose Gengar, Because Pokemon have crazy power scaling, but how can you argue with more powerful than you can possibly imagine?
I know.
I can't even imagine how powerful he is.
I have a very powerful team, and Denny Duquette is there for loneliness and support.
That's fine. Patrick Swayze will give a better massage than Denny Duquette.
That's a lie.
Didn't even stand until he was already dead. Anyway, to the sequels. Obviously, Ghostbusters has several sequels. We're going based off of a sequel to the first one because that's the way we're doing it. The original Ghostbusters 2 failed to replicate the cultural impact following of Ghostbusters, and although some critics retrospectively praised it, Ghostbusters 2 is generally seen as a poor follow-up to Ghostbusters and responsible for stalling the franchise for decades. I don't think anyone's going to mind if we write even a horrible sequel because it was already a horrible sequel. After you?
So, I am tired of all of the Ghostbusters, like, live-action movies. So, mine is going to be called Ghostbusters, the animated series. Like, Batman, the animated series. Get it? Yeah, nice. It's an adult animated series. I'm thinking, like, kind of like BoJack, in a way. Okay. If anybody's ever seen BoJack Horseman actually has, like, a full plot. I feel like other adult, like Rick and Morty, like there's sometimes a plot and then sometimes stuff doesn't connect at all.
Probably Family Guy would be a better example.
So, yeah, Family Guy. Okay, yeah. So I feel like it's going to kind of be BoJack meets Scooby-Doo. Okay. And there's going to be an actual plot, a story, and an ending. I already have the end, like, laid out. So, I mean, I'm thinking, like, you know, four seasons, maybe 5. Kind of depends. It's going to start with, you know, Venkman all meeting. I think that the main, like, the 4 main characters can stay the same, but obviously it's not going to be the same actors. I like the backstory of, like, Ernie and all of them. And Venkman is not going to be a pervert. So...
Number 1.
Yeah, not a pervert. And I said, you know, it's going to go with them all meeting. It's going to go more into Venkman's research. I'd like to make him an actor, or her. Could be a her. I don't care.
In fact, he's a eunuch.
Yeah, he's a eunuch. No. He's like, what's his name? Varys. On Game of Thrones. But it's going to go more into his research and how it pertains to the ghost, because that's the thing. The other people were actually studying, like, stuff for ghosts, and Venkman's just like...
They're supposed to be parapsychologists.
That's what I'm saying. And then the other one is like, I'm just going to see if you have telepathy, but then lie about it so I can get in your pants. Yeah. I mean, it made no sense. Anyways... So it's going to research and kind of show the process of them building the machine. This is, you know, probably... the first, like, season or so, and they're going to be evicted, purchase the firehouse, and the season is going to end with them establishing the Ghostbusters. Like, it's going to be their trials and fails, like, of... Because I feel like people kind of make fun of them, in a way. And then each episode is going to be them catching the small ghost. You know that montage in the movie? It's just, like... Who you gonna call the whole time? It's gonna be them catching the small ghosts, but there's gonna be, like, the underlying, like, storyline. So you're gonna do what?
Does Dan Aykroyd still get that blowjob from the ghost?
No.
Oh, well, he wasn't a perv. I thought maybe he still deserved it. Still an adult show, you said?
It could be, like, sure, if it's an adult show. I didn't write out the whole plot, but you're gonna start with Zool, right? Zool has to be your season 2 boss. He's going to be the overarching villain, and some of the characters are going to be updated so you don't seem to try and groom young women or be creepy. I've already kind of said that, but I think that at the end, like, you got to fight. After you fight Zool, you have to fight Gozer. I do think that Gozer should have a boss, which will be the final ending. They'll realize that Gozer's boss has opened a portal between the ghost world and Earth, and it's going to be them, like, traveling through the portal, beating Gozer's boss, and finally closing the portal so the ghost can't close anymore, and then Ghostbusters it'll be them closing and moving on.
I like it.
Animated series.
I'd like that. They did a children's animated series for the Ghostbusters. Don't remember what it was called, but it was, you know, I don't think it ran that long. It's probably the only other good Ghostbusters thing anyone remembers.
Oh, yeah. I think it should be like an adult animated series. Like BoJack, I really liked BoJack, and I think that had a good ending to it. So.
Well, I went with a movie still. I'm not proud of this. Before I go into it, I'll just say that.
He's never proud of his work, and it's always way better than mine.
Every now and again, I've been proud. I'm proud of next week's. So, Ghostbusters, Gozer's Revenge. I don't love going back to the same villain, but it does feel something that the 80s and 90s would do. You know, Shredder's Revenge. That's kind of what I was thinking of.
Yeah, TMNT.
With the existence of ghosts revealed to the world, the Ghostbusters have expanded their business all around the world, with thousands of ghost-busting groups operating around the world. Ghosts are no match. The original crew is a bit divided, as Venkman and Winston show interest in retiring, while Stantz and Spengler want to continue to develop their ghost technology for the world. This is used to examine their friendship, or lack thereof, throughout the movie. I definitely want to touch on that again, because it feels like, even throughout this movie, I was like, do you guys like each other? Are you just kind of in the same profession?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, honestly. They don't talk to each other a whole lot. It's kind of weird.
No, they don't. And maybe they just know Venkman's a creep.
During their next mission, Venkman is slacking off as he remains committed to retirement, but this leads him to get possessed by a ghost known as the Drool Ghost. I know it sounds gross, but I feel like the reason Slimer kind of worked is because he was kind of gross.
Did you come up with the drool on your own, or like was that...
I literally just thought of something gross that wasn't puke, because I think puke's too gross.
Disgusting. You could have done the Mucinex ghost.
The Drool Ghost uses Venkman to begin sabotaging all the Ghostbusters' equipment and allowing more and more ghosts to escape. As these ghosts escape, the Drool Ghost instructs the others to possess other Ghostbusters all around the world. Just as the rest start to catch on to Venkman being possessed, they realize how many other Ghostbusters teams have fallen. The team attempts to capture Venkman, but ultimately fail, and the Drool Ghost takes Venkman through New York City, causing chaos. When the team finally catches up to Venkman, they are able to encourage him to fight back against the ghost, thus freeing him from the Drool Ghost. So I imagine if I was taking a critical look at their relationships, this would be the moment where they can kind of show their friendship by convincing him to fight back.
Mm-hmm. At least if it's not a friendship, like a professional friendship,
However, the world is still being swarmed by spirits angry with the Ghostbusters, and after a meeting with the mayor, they decide to begin arming the citizens and law enforcement of New York City with proton packs and begin a war against the ghosts.
Wild.
Even with all of New York helping, it seems the ghost will not let up, leading the team to discover the cause of the overwhelming numbers. The Drool Ghost has reopened the door for Gozer. The Ghostbusters attempt to challenge Gozer once more, but must enter the Ghost Dimension to do so. Uncertain of their future, the Ghostbusters walk hand in hand into the Ghost Dimension and roll credits.
That's wild that the end of mine was like they have to close the portal to the Ghost Dimension for good, but it's like Gozer's boss. That's pretty cool. It's like kind of similar in a way. I like it. I think it's a good, like, movie sequel, and you're kind of going into their relationships just a little bit more, and there's more story. See, there's no love interest here, everyone. There doesn't need to be one.
I didn't put Dana back, and it's not nothing against her. It's more that I don't feel Venkman deserves it.
I agree.
And I feel like you'd feel more attached to them if I knew fucking anything about them.
Yeah.
Besides that they're parapsychologists.
Yeah.
Like, you could be way more invested in them, but...
You should have brought Dana back and had her be with Lewis as just, like, a passerby on the street. Like, Venkman's like, oh, I sure messed up because I was such a pervert.
Well, my movie nearly started off with a ghost possessed Venkman and walked him off a building.
So let me tell you, everyone, I decided to do the animated series because in all of my Ghostbusters movie sequels, I was going to kill Venkman. I'm not going to lie. And I was like, I don't know. So I feel like the animated series was a way to, like, it's a reboot in a TV show. Kind of,
the Venkman stands are going to come for us.
I know.
Anyway, thank you for making it this far. If you'd like to vote on whose sequel idea was the best, come by our YouTube channel for the polls, or let us know your idea with a comment, tweet, or you can reach us at needlesssequel@gmail.com. Links, as always, will be wherever you are listening. If you had a good time, share a show with someone, leave us a review, and come back for more. We'd love to have you. All right, be easy, everyone. We will see you next week.
Bye.